You're welcome to the spot, you know the truth is here. BronxTails on a beat, we see it clear. All the cases, all the shadows, we break it down. Pull up a seat, join the fam in this town. Every story matters, every voice you bring. We don't just talk the talk, we let the facts sing. Logan and Bronx, yeah, they lead the way. Shining light in the dark every single day. Yeah. Curiosity welcome, questions never wrong. Here you belong, it's a family strong. From cold cases to the ones unsolved. Together we uncover, together we evolve. No gossip, no rumors, we keep it real. Every detail matters, every clue you feel. We vibe, we learn, we investigate. BronxTails, true crime, let's elevate. Stay with us every night and day. We uncover the truth in our own way. Welcome here, let your mind explore. BronxTails, true crime, always more in store. Yeah, welcome home. Yeah, you're never alone.
It's Friday, you guys. We made it. Praise the Lord Jesus. We made it. It's Friday. I feel like my lighting is not very good today. And I apologize because there are lots of kids playing in the little driveway right here. So they might be a little loud, but it's okay. They're enjoying outside time, which we never see anymore. So I love it. I love seeing that. I love hearing it. So everything's alleged in our opinion only. Welcome in, everybody. We have some interesting things, creepy things. This is not staying where I want it. That's okay. It's okay. All right. How is everybody? Welcome. Bianca, Christina, Lizzie, Critter, not Critty, Yuri, Carol. Yay. We have Dina and Momos and Ice. Labs and Moto. We got Mike. Do you guys remember that commercial? So funny. Actually, Labs sent in some really interesting things. We're gonna play Hey Four Hands and DKM, Miss Kiki. Welcome, guys. Yeah, so Labs sent in quite a bit of interesting stuff. It's creepy to me, so we'll play it. You'll see it. But I want to tell you guys something. So I don't know, for some of you who tune into Crimes After Dark, I mentioned it was, I think, which is, that was weird, just blipped out on me. Will County, Illinois, about an hour or so from me, and her name is Jenna Straubel. And she lives in Indiana. She crossed state lines into Illinois, and she unalived her kid's father and his parents at their home and then fled back to Indiana. Now, it just happened on Monday. So I, this morning at 10:30, reached out to Will County and did a FOIA request trying to get the police interview with her, all the body cams, any previous calls that they had. And when I tell you, I got a response from Will County within an hour. It was, I think, less than an hour. I would say probably 45 minutes. I received a response from Will County within 45 minutes to an hour. And I was denied, obviously, because it's an ongoing investigation. I knew I was going to be denied. It was just worth a try. But it was very interesting to me that I got a response within an hour of sending a FOIA request over there. But in Idaho, I have one that's lengthy that I still haven't gotten a complete price on yet. I have one that is hasn't been answered at all. And it was weeks ago I sent it in about the stalking. No response at all. I have another that I requested Eric Gower's Ring camera footage from his own home, which I'm sure will be denied, but I didn't even get a response to that yet. Not like, hey, we got your request, nothing. And that I sent 10 days ago, and they're supposed to respond in 5 days. It's just ridiculous to me that Idaho can just ignore whatever they feel like ignoring, but yet I send one into Will County and get a response within 45 minutes to an hour. Isn't that wild? It just drives me nuts. Like you cannot just not respond to FOIA requests and then just ignore them completely. I think I have 2 other ones that were completely just ignored, and it just drives me nuts. So that's my rant and being angry for the day at Idaho. So again, everything's alleged in our opinion only. I am going to share my screen. I'm going to do a lot of screen sharing today, so please let me know and make sure that you can hear everything okay. So in case people have not seen this, this is the portion of Olivia Gonsalves fighting for this Bill 1250 to make sure that victims' bodies and things are not shown to the public, which it was passed, but I just wanted to share what she said in the courtroom. She was actually on speakerphone. She was not there. Not sure if it was so important to her why she couldn't show up. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I'm going to share just her portion of what she said, trying to get this bill passed, because she does speak about her sister, obviously. And put a 1 in the chat when I play this if you can hear it okay.
Yeah. Hi, Olivia. We're just going to put you on my phone and put you on speaker. Is that okay?
They're putting her on speaker right now. Thank you so much, Moto in the house, coming in with a bang. This bill is triggering. It is triggering. To me, thank you so much again. Okay, good. You can hear it. Awesome. It is triggering. This bill is triggering because it's basically just another reason to not be transparent to the public. The public doesn't necessarily want to see the dang bodies in their worst moment. We want autopsy reports. We want the full detailed autopsy reports. We don't necessarily care to see the actual bodies at the crime scene, but it is just another way to deny the public information or access to public information, public knowledge that we should be able to get. I don't necessarily want to see the bodies, but I feel like this is just going too far with being not transparent again, as if we don't have enough being secretive and hidden, especially in this case.
Oh, you're going to be okay. This is going to work just fine because the speaker works good in here. So you're on speaker. And go ahead and introduce yourself and where you're from.
Perfect. Chairperson, members of the committee, my name is Olivia Gonsalves, and I'm from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to share something with you guys now that I've not really been able to articulate verbally. On July 23rd, 2025, Moscow Police Department released 578 pages of documents, including reports from the first officers on scene for my sister's murder. Nearly everything within the pages of these documents was new information to us, as there had been a non-dissemination order placed. I wanted to read verbatim some of the things that were written about my sister. Kaylee was unrecognizable, as her facial structure was extremely damaged. One female on the left side of the bed, in relation to the bedroom door, had an extreme amount of lacerations to her face and upper body, which made her unrecognizable. One female showed an apparent traumatic injury to her face due to the basic facial structure being unrecognizable. Her face was completely disfigured and stabbed several times. I was unable to comprehend exactly what I was looking at while trying to discern the nature of the injuries. The mental images created from these words were absolutely horrific, and my fear of the unknown was further compounded by intense public interest and a very real possibility that these photos one day might find their way to the internet. I made the decision to request to sit down with prosecutors and investigators so that I could at least control something. I wasn't ready and I didn't want to, but I prepared the best I could. I was with investigators and the prosecutor when I saw my sister. Though I've grown to love them very much, I truly just wanted privacy. I refused to cry, and instead I tried to lighten the mood by commenting on how pretty her painted toenails were, how her tanning lotion made it look like maybe she could still be alive. You see, I knew these photos hurt them too, and I didn't want to hurt them anymore. I was shivering now, but not because I was cold, and I viewed what I felt I could manage in the moment. But if I'm being honest with people here, all I could really think about is how much I wanted to curl up with her. If they had just called me when it happened, I could have brought her back to life. How beautiful she was. And how when I looked at her, it was very so much Kaylee. There was nothing disfigured or unrecognizable to me. And it was just my little sister. As we went through more photos, I would quietly think of how I would comfort her had she lived. That's just a little scratch, Kaylee. With a good surgeon, it won't even scar. It will be okay, Kaylee. The years have come a really long way. I'll get them with you if it makes you feel better. It's okay, Kaylee. I can fix all of these things. I can fix you. The mental images still exist. I can see them now even. But I now know they don't carry any weight. There's no truth to them, only fear. I don't know how I would be coping today without that distinction. I strongly urge your support for Senate Bill 1250. Thank you.
And Senator, pass on our thanks, but let me see if there's any questions.
So that's pretty much it. What she said. She seemed more enraged about what they basically stated in the report than the pictures really themselves anyway. I get what she's saying. She doesn't want her loved ones' pictures out there. But to everybody's defense in the public, I do have to say that if this was my family member, now I wouldn't necessarily say I would want their pictures out there of how horrific it was, but in a sense, yeah, the heck I would. Sorry if my family is listening to this and wouldn't want that, but if my family had been unalived in a horrific way, and in the beginning of the case, there was no arrest. They didn't know who did this. They did, according to them and what they wanted us to believe, right? According to law enforcement, they didn't know who did this. They wouldn't let people put up flyers to try and find the perpetrator. The city didn't think they were safe. I would want to put them out and be like, help me find the people who did this or the person who did this. Look at what they did. Look at what they did. This is what you guys are going to sleep at night, and this person or these people are still out there. Look at how dangerous they are. Look how awful this is. And I would want that to trigger people to help investigate, because obviously the investigation isn't being investigated, right? That's how I feel about it. I would be like, help me get this person and look at what the heck they did. And also, in the defense to the public, how many cases can we Google? Just flat out put it in Google and then click on the images tab and they come right up. There's no redactions. Why can we do that in other cases? Famous people, the S word, when you unalive yourself, other horrific crimes, Travis Alexander, there's tons of them. There are some even out there of children. Those I don't want to see. No. But why just this case? Why can't we get information on this case? Every interview is redacted. What for? Privacy of who? This was a crime. And you guys think you have the person who did it. So why can't we see the people's faces that are being interviewed? It doesn't make sense. It's almost to me like they know that they don't have the right person, or there's more people, or whatever the case is, and they don't want people to find them or to find the truth. Like, what are they, as far as the city, the university, the police department, what are they trying to hide behind? Why do we not have any transparency in this case? Because most cases don't have as much to hide as this one. Really, that's what it is. They're just making themselves look awful. They're making themselves look like we have something to hide. That's all it is. They're hiding behind redactions, and it's getting really, really old. Okay. So this is submitted through email by a viewer, and they submitted it through voice recording, so there's nothing I can really show. I can just talk to you guys about it. And it was kind of interesting to me. Now, this viewer is actually from Germany, so cool that we have a person in Germany that's viewing us. So she said, and you guys refresh my memory if you remember this. She stated at the very, beginning of this case, when there would be like two officers standing outside, but there were news reporters there. So like News Nation, Brian Enton, News Nation People, and some other reporters were outside at this point. So the case was just, a handful of days old, if that. She said she remembers seeing a video that is now completely scrubbed from the internet. She said it was one of the reporters, and she couldn't remember which one it was, go up to one of the officers or try and talk to one of the officers. And the officer was kind of like, giving them an answer, but not really giving them an answer, kind of like ignoring them in a sense, but did kind of end up answering them. And they were being very vague about their answers. And it wasn't a long interview. It was just a couple of seconds maybe. But one of the officers says if it was more than one person, they surely could have done this in 2 minutes. She says she specifically remembers them saying 2 minutes. And that came from one of the officers. I guess they were trying to explain, like, we don't know if one person did it. We don't know if it was multiple people, but we believe that multiple people could have done this in 2 minutes. I don't necessarily remember seeing that, although at the very beginning of the case, it was after Brian Koberger was arrested. I did take like 2 or so months off from any social media. So I wasn't watching then. I figure maybe that's when it was, that interview came out, or it wasn't really like an interview necessarily with this officer that was standing outside. But she specifically remembers 2 officers standing outside and saying multiple perps could have done this in 2 minutes. She felt like maybe they were trying to set the stage already in a sense. And she says she's looked far and wide and cannot find this interview. And I'm just wondering if any of you guys remember this interview or them talking to police outside at all while they were kind of working, though. It wasn't necessarily like a sit-down interview or anything like that. Police were kind of working. I don't remember that. Just curious if you guys maybe remember that. I found that the comment was interesting because it seems like they were trying to set the stage. So I want to move on to, and then I did want to say with that too is I did find an interview that Brian Enton did where he says, and I quote, "Cops are no longer speaking with us." So to be fair, he did say that they had talked to police before. So maybe there was an interview like that or something along those lines, talking in passing. I'm not sure. But Brian Enton did say police won't talk to us anymore. And this was before there was even an arrest. I did find that statement by him. So maybe they had talked to police. I just don't necessarily remember it. With that, I'm going to jump into this. So this is the information that Labs shared with me, and this is very interesting to me. So I'm going to share my screen, but I want to let you know who this is first. If you guys remember who Jordan Baker is the roommate of Brent Kopacka and supposedly his best friend, and is also the person who called 911 on Brett Kopacka that day, which ultimately he was unalived because of that 911 call. So this is who that person is that I'm going to show you. There's a couple of videos I have for you, but I want to say that they seem pretty normal at first, but stay tuned because they get creepy as heck. Now, there's a lot of people that think that Brent Kopacka might be involved. I'm one of those people that think it's a possibility that Brent Kopacka was involved with something or other. And part of that comes from the axe or the hatchet we saw at the crime scene of Brent Kopacka on body-worn camera, and there's a hatchet just stuck in the wall at his apartment. And I find that very strange because the rest of the apartment, it was pretty much empty. So it's almost like a in plain sight type of thing, or maybe we want you to see this. It's weird. But if you remember, I did the stabbing the mattress thing. There is a gouge in Xana's mattress that to me looks nothing like a gouge that would happen from a knife. It looks like something that would happen from a handheld hatchet or axe type of weapon, maybe even a machete or a bat-shetty, who knows. But there are people that think Brent Kopacka might be involved. So I'm going to play a slew of videos that are from his roommate and best friend, Jordan Baker. It starts off pretty normal. I screen recorded them. Oh, where's the volume? Oh, there's the volume. Okay, here we go.
To share some thoughts before I take a nap. You know, there's a few people that I want to honor. That's my great-grandfather who fought in many wars, including World War II. My best friend, Brent, who died a horrific death, an unjustified death. And my great-grandma Olson, who is in heaven. They're all in heaven together, just living in peace. And it just makes me emotional thinking about them not around. And if there's anything I want to say to them is I'm going to make you proud. I am going to continue the fight, continue what I'm working on these platforms, including this one, and just know that y'all are special.
So in that video, he said unjustified death, basically saying like what they did was unjustified, ridiculous. He shouldn't have been killed. Well, honey, why did you call 911 on him then? If it could have just been solved by calling a friend or a family member, or, you know, I don't think it needed death as the intervention. I mean, I feel like it could have been intervened a different way, but ultimately this guy calling 911 is what ultimately unalived Brent Kopacka. I just wanted to play that first video so you guys could hear him say Brent's name. He says Brent is his best friend. He is talking about Brent Kopacka just to kind of set the stage. So now I shall play this one. Or is this the same one?
Hello, happy Memorial Day. Just wanted to share some thoughts.
That's the same one. 1 second. Okay. So now we get into this one. A little bit different. Okay, fine, right? The thing I noticed in that video is the song is titled, I Can't Get You Off My Mind. Could be talking about a significant other, whatever, never know. Okay, let's go to the next one. Whoops. know why it is doing this. I have like the best internet there is. I do work from home. Interesting. Let me start over. Okay, so before I play that one more time, I just want to point out that, that there are 3 dead reindeer on the ground, and there is something in the antler of this reindeer, and I don't know if like the antler is holding up like a dead Santa Claus with his head chopped off, or it's supposed to be blood or part of a house. I don't know what the heck it's supposed to be. I just thought that it was strange that there are at least 3 dead reindeer down here, and I thought maybe 4. I don't know. So I thought maybe the reindeer could signify maybe victims. Now, this could absolutely be a stretch. Let me know if you think it's a stretch. Again, this person is best friends with Brent Kopacka, and people thought that Brent Kopacka was involved. Also, if you take note, the painting in the background is called Starry Night by Van Gogh. And what was Brian Koberger's alibi? He was watching the stars, stargazing. I don't know. I thought maybe the dead reindeer signified something, but also his dancing in here looks kind of familiar. And I'm going to share what it kind of resembles to me.
I hope you're dancing in club heaven, smoking some bullshit with your legends.
Ethan's dance. It reminds me of Ethan's dance at the end. I'll play this one more time. Oh, first I want to say, I think he might be schizophrenic. Thank you so much, Stephen. People on antipsychotics often talk like they're on 0.75 speed. Thank you again. We absolutely appreciate you. And you're absolutely right. He did say in a previous video that when he called 911 on Brent Kopacka, he was specifically in a psychotic state. Maybe he was off of his meds at that time. Maybe Kopacka was off of his meds at that time as well, which could be a terrible combination. 2 people, excuse me, 2 people off of their meds that are schizophrenic or have mental health issues and need meds to function. Terrible combination. I think that was just a bad combination all around. But you're absolutely right. He does have mental health issues, and he stated that he was in a psychotic episode the day of the 911 call on Kopacka. 4 Hens, thank you so much. How many roomies were there, and do we know a lot about them? I don't know how many roommates were at Kopacka's. I thought there was 3 for some reason. I thought there was 3 people that were kind of part of being there. I don't know who's roommates and who's not. I just know Jordan Baker was, or claimed to be. The apartment seemed empty. I have no idea who was living there or how they were living there. There was really nothing in there. Oh, Labs thought the song, it sounded like Put Your Arms Around Me, Maddie. Interesting. I totally heard I Can't Get You Off My Mind. I think that's the title of the song, actually, is I Can't Get You Off My Mind. But it could say that in the lyrics, though, something about Maddie. Bill Thompson is Santa Claus. Thank you so much for the donations. I'm not exactly sure how many roommates Brent Kopacka had or what was going on with that apartment, because it looked like a disaster. And there was a whole freaking axe in the wall. The blinds were destroyed, and there's not really any furniture in there, much furniture. So I don't know. Oh, in the lyrics, it said that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to play this one again. I thought he was resembling Ethan's dance at the very end. Watching videos of them only because it just is so, I don't know, it's so sad to me. Like humanizing them and making them so real hurts my heart so bad to watch them. Now, this last video of Jordan Baker is even more interesting. If you thought maybe the videos before was me reaching, you might not after this. Why does it not let me turn the volume up? It's dead silent in there. He has the volume on. He's showing something dark in the background. I thought it was like black clothes. Now he has a knife. He zooms in on the 3 holes on his head in the mask. Oh. Interesting.
Where's your boyfriend now? Huh?
Would you like me to play that one more time? What do you mean, where's your boyfriend now? What in the actual heck is that? Thank you, Leah, for becoming a new member. We appreciate you. Welcome to the Turtle fam. Is now a turtle. And Lucy made an interesting point. Oh, I thought he was about to zoom in onto his eyebrow. Huh. Maybe that was what he was trying to do. Interesting, right? He does have a knife there as well. Oh, Lav says on the floor it was a black coat or a cloak on the floor. That's what I thought it was. It was like all black clothing. That's when it goes dark after the first view of him with the mask. It goes dark and he's showing his room and he's zooming in onto the floor where there is like an all black outfit or jacket or something. Kopeka was shot in his apartment Steptoe. Was it the Steptoe? I want to say it was Steptoe Apartments. I'm going to play this one more time for you guys. Notice the bottom says Nathan and I, chapter 4, Dark Surprise. Nathan is his alter ego. There was a big discussion whether lights were on or not at Idaho. I have no idea why this is doing this. There's the dark clothes. It's just really hard to see him. Yep.
Where's your boyfriend now? Huh?
Super creepy. He really truly creeps me out. Seriously, creeps me out. There was a couple of comments that I wanted to speak on. Forehand says, where on his body? I believe Kopeka was, Koberger's steptoe. What is the one that Kopeka was in? Something with a P. Was it with a P? I can't remember the apartment name, but on his body, I'm pretty sure it was like everywhere, wasn't it? He was shot multiple times by officers. Who's Nathan? Nathan is his alter ego. That's who comes out in the dark times. Very strange. I don't think we know where he's at now. I think that he's still in the same area, if I'm not mistaken. Coffee house. That's what it was. Coffee house. Thank you so much. Coffee house. Yep. Crazy. Creepy and crazy. So thank you, Labs, for sending that in, because I found that very interesting. Just the connection and how absolutely creepy that is. But he obviously thinks nobody's looking at him, right? So, and there's only like 3 views on his video or 3 likes on his video. So people aren't paying attention to him. So he probably feels okay to post that stuff that nobody would assume anything, right? Maybe just think he's being funny or artsy. I don't know. I want to share this interview with Brian Enton just to show you some of the area. It's an old interview from back at the very beginning. And they're discussing how people could get in and out. And what I find interesting is he talks about walking and where people could have walked to and from. But at no time do they stop and think, well, maybe the people actually just walked there and walked back. They keep talking about people walking this way and then walking and jumping in a car somewhere behind the house. Why couldn't they just have walked there and walked back? Why does a car have to be involved? I'm going to share you this real quick.
Better view. Okay, so we are at the back of the house where the murders happened. This is the house right here. You can see the police line is still up. I've shown you this parking lot before. There's this big parking lot right behind because there's an apartment building right over there. But we wanted to show you what's even further back behind the house. So follow me. You walk to the back of the parking lot over here, to the very back corner. And there's this trail right here. And you can tell that other people have walked on it before because the snow is packed down and there's footprints. So possibly students walking up to the neighborhood up above. Come around the trail here. It sort of loops around right by the backyard. Through the trees right here. To this fence line. And basically the little trail continues to loop around. I don't want to go in the backyard of the people who live back here, but we'll show you what's on the other side. Okay, so we're up on the road back behind the house. This house behind me, that path that I showed you, that path connects to the backyard of this house. And there's really a whole other neighborhood up here. We're going to show you. I'm going to get in the car and drive you up.
Oh, thank you, Bianca. Gifting another turtle. You're so sweet. Thank you. And congrats to the new turtle. Yes, that is Walenta. That's absolutely Walenta. So yeah, he just showed how a person, I'm going to show it one more time just because it's pretty quick. He just showed absolutely how fast it is to get to from 1122 King Road up to Walenta. Now, my problem is he keeps saying, well, somebody could walk back here and jump into a car on Walenta. Well, how come they couldn't just walk into Walenta? Why? Maybe they live on Walenta. Maybe they live back there somewhere. Why do they have to jump in a car? Why can't it just be somebody that's closer? Especially because of all the blood they found in different places in different apartments around the area. Especially the fact that the people who continue to call in the noise complaints live on Willenta.
Sort of loops around right by the backyard.
And if you notice, he even says, there's footprints all back here. The snow is packed down because people continuously walk back here. Why? For what?
Through the trees right here. To this fence line. And basically the little trail continues to loop around. I don't want to go in the backyard of the people who live back here, but we'll show you what's on the other side. Okay, so we're up on the road back behind the house. This house behind me, that path that I showed you, that path connects to the backyard of this house. And there's really a whole other neighborhood up here. We're going to show you. I'm going to get in the car and drive you up. And just show you what's up here, because it's interesting. You know, you've got the neighborhood down below where the apartments are, the college students. But up here, if you came up that path, you could have parked up here somewhere.
Well, they could have
This
just
way to
walked.
show you. When you come around this corner, there's an intersection here. That's a dead end street that way. This way is not a dead end.
But yeah, they could have just walked as well. But also, they could have jumped in a car, which could be the lights we see flashing as a signal. You know, we see that close to the times of the crime, which I think happened closer to 3. The very beginning of this case, all the news was reporting what the police were saying, which was that the crime happened between 3 and 4, not after 4. If they had Brian Koberger's car from day 1, like they tried to say, then you wouldn't be telling the public and the news reporters that the crime happened between 3 and 4. If you knew you had a vehicle that was after 4 a.m. And Forhen says this house was freaking annoying in the neighborhood. And yeah, that's true. I mean, they were getting noise complaints literally in the middle of the day, at noon, in the middle of the day. People were tired of them and their loud music. Lucy says, why didn't the sniffer dog sniff the path that the perp exited? I mean, isn't that interesting? I think that's interesting. You would think just for reasons like that, you would keep the house too. I mean, I suppose they had who they thought it was, but my goodness, with that little amount of evidence, which was next to nothing, you would think you would keep the house just for that. But then again, which is the reason that they tore it down, was so they didn't have any more evidence to prove that he didn't do it, right? Interesting to me. I am going to show an interesting video made by Karmic Retribution. It's called Thing 42. I just found this like a good interview. I mean, a good video that she made. So I want to share it because we love to support other people over here. So let's play this baby. We have all wondered about the drama that occurred Halloween night. Dun, dun, dun.
And this is just so consistent that Ethan is just a fun, goofy guy.
Yeah.
Tell me about a couple of times where you got to see him just being a fun, goofy guy.
Well, there was one night, it was Halloween, and me and my friend were doing thing 1, thing 2. My costume was broken, so I was kind of drunk and pissed off. Not at anyone, just myself. So Ethan had given me clothes clearance. And I was pissed off, and Ethan kept calling me Thing 42, and I was like, no, Thing 2, not Thing 42, because it was like a joke. And I have like videos of like me messing around with him, and he's just like making fun of me because I was wearing like his brother's clothes, blue hair, sunglasses. It was just like that kind of stuff. And he was just like I'm very like, I like to be sarcastic a lot, like as a joke, and he liked to do that as well. So we would like just be giving sarcastic jokes back to each other all the time.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That sound like fun.
You fucking asshole! You fucking liar! You fucking manipulator!
Don't wear that outfit again.
Hold on. Was that Xana next to her? I don't want to go back too far.
Don't wear that outfit again.
1 second. Sorry, I'm looking at something. Was that Xana next to her? Is that Xana next to her? In the red and the white?
Don't wear.
Right here? No. That's not Xana. Never mind.
Liar! You fucking manipulator!
Don't wear that outfit again.
This is Dylan's dad. And this is a text message from Dylan's. It is Xana? I thought it was Josie. If it is Xana, then she has the white iPhone with her and not the black one. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was like Josie or somebody else. So this is Dylan's dad, and it's a text message that just says, just a friendly reminder of who is going to show up at the boy's door who messes with one of my daughters. £241 of beef. That's what I'm wondering. Dylan has a sister? He said daughters. Roidy Ragey. Roidy Ragey. You know, I was just thinking of so he sent that to Dylan, right? And that's supposedly her dad, right? But that's weird because that text message doesn't sound anything like the businessy text message he sent her that morning of the crime that said, hey, hey DMM, what time can you talk today? Is 1 or 2 better? Now that sounds even more like code to me. Because the text message he just sent about messing with one of my daughters doesn't sound like the same person that's all business talk sounding in the other text message the day of the crime. And Forehand says phone 1 or phone 2. And I feel like that really is an interesting point because now, yeah, exactly. Now this is getting interesting to me because that first text message sending a selfie of himself to his daughter saying, oh, if somebody messes with my daughter, this is who's going to show up, doesn't sound like the businessy text that he got or that Dylan got the next morning. And when he mentions, do you want me to call at 1 or 2? Forehand thinks it might be code for, do you want me to call phone number 1 or phone number 2? Like without saying it though, right? What phone do you want me to call? Interesting. Philly says, I thought she had a brother. I didn't even know she had a sibling. I don't know. Yeah. Pokey also said, there it is. Pokey says, sounds like a lawyer is asking through her dad's phone, or her dad talked to a lawyer and that's what the lawyer told him to text, because those two text messages are completely different. They're polar opposites. This is who's going to show up if anybody messes with my daughter. Hey, DMM, what time is better for you to speak to me today, darling dear? Would you like to have a conversation on the phone at 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Eastern Pacific time, dear? Like, stop it. Now that sounds even more ridiculous. I felt like something was off with that as it was, but now it seems even more off. Let's not forget DM changed her location to reflect a different time zone. Interesting. Pamela says, I'm pretty sure she has a younger sister. Very, very interesting, actually. We've got, that's not the one I wanted. Let's see. Wasn't Dylan's boyfriend on probation for getting busted for something? I don't know if he was on probation, but her dad is, his dad, the boyfriend's dad, Quinn's dad is an Aryan Knight. He's like big involved in the Aryan stuff. So, and he's been arrested plenty of times. Yeah, that's sounds like DM learned from the best on how to be an asshole. I just find that really strange now. Like the first message we just saw of the selfie of her dad. First of all, who does that? Like, okay, if there's any, you sound like my grandmother. If there's any people in chat and you're like a dad, do you send your daughter selfies of your muscles and say, like, do you do that? I don't know. It's never happened to me, so I don't know if dads do that. But that's strange. And that message doesn't sound anything like the message she got from her dad the morning of the crime. DMM, what time is better to speak on the phone? 1 p.m. or 2 p.m.? It doesn't even say p.m. It just says 1 or 2, which is, yeah, my dad does not. That's just dumb. Nah, never. Nah, never. Nah, yeah. I'm with the 2 phone theory. That is spot on. Definitely code. I do feel like it was code, and now I feel like it was code even more, just because now we have proof of previous messages and what they look like and sound like. Interesting. And that text does not say 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. It just says 1 or 2. It says, what time would you like to speak on the phone? 1 or 2. Weird. Okay, I'm going to finish this video. It's almost done. This is going to start some audio. Hopefully you can hear it because it's part of the argument that is heard early on in the morning at like 2:26 where we hear that scream. There are some interesting other noises, part of that argument that has the writing on the screen of what they think is being said. And although I'm terrible with audio, it does to me sound very similar to what they put on the screen as far as what is being said. But then again, do we just hear that because now we're told what we're to hear, you know? But it does sound like that. I'm going to play that part one more time. The beginning said, call Dylan. I feel like that I can hear that. You might want to check this video out on your own if you haven't seen it yet and just listen. And then it says, first it says, call Dylan. Then it says, because I don't fuck with Ethan. And then the other stuff I feel like I can hear as well. But I don't want to tell you what you hear. So check it out on your own. See if you hear what I think I hear as well. So another thing I want to talk about really quick is Dylan makes a statement. And I was going to put some stuff together for this, but I figured I'd just kind of talk it out with you guys. Dylan makes a statement in one of her interviews. She says specifically When Kaylee goes up the stairs, she hears Kaylee and Murphy go up the stairs because Murphy's barking. Kaylee says, "There's someone here," and turns around and starts running back down the stairs, is what she says. She follows that with, "Because there's someone at the top of the stairs." Yeah, because there was someone at the top of the stairs. She does not say that that person was dressed in black with a black ski mask. She doesn't say that that's the same person that she saw by the back slider or walking through whatever that was 3 feet, walking next to her door or that was 3 feet away. She said there was someone at the top of the stairs. Nobody asked her to describe that person. Nobody said, what clothes were they wearing? Was it the same person that you saw? I'm picturing her say that she saw somebody at the top of the stairs. But to me, it's a different person because she didn't say, "I saw the masked guy, the guy clad in black, a person dressed in all black." She just said there was someone at the top of the stairs. To me, that sounds like a completely different person than the masked intruder guy theory that she talks about. And I'm just curious what you guys think about that statement. She hears Kaylee and Murphy walk up the stairs. She hears Kaylee scream and say, "Someone is here," and run back down the stairs because there was someone at the top of the stairs. To me, that sounds like a different person than the person all in black with the black mask on. Or she would have said, "I saw that same person at the top of the stairs. First, I saw the intruder at the top of the stairs." That's not what she says. To me, it sounds like that's a completely different person. And nobody asked her to describe that person, describe what they were wearing, what they look like, if they were white, if they were black, if they were short, if they were tall. Nothing. And I don't think, honestly, that she's smart enough to mention that herself. Like, "Oh, it wasn't the same person," or "they were wearing XYZ. I think it's a different person. I think she saw a different person," or she would have said, "First, I saw the masked man at the top of the stairs." But it was somebody else. And that's what I truly think. I think she saw somebody else at the top of the stairs that was not the same person that she saw in a mask. And real quick, Dago and I talked the other day about, let's see some comments. She can't see the top of the stairs to the 3rd floor, but she can see the top of the stairs leading to floor 1. Interesting. She can see the top. She can see the first part of the stairs that go upstairs. You know what I mean? Like that, there's that landing there, and then you quick turn and go up the other way. She can see that, unless that's what she was talking about. I don't know. But it could be the top of the 1st floor stairs too. Interesting thought. I don't know. Momo says, "I don't trust anything DM says because her story is never the same twice. So I don't give credit to anything from her." It is hard to give credit to anything from her. It is. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But she could hear everything. And we see that, we hear that with the officers just in the house on their body cam, how loud those stairs are. And that's from somebody else's body cam that's standing outside talking. On top of that, they're talking. We're listening to them talk, and we can hear the bang, 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 bang coming down the stairs. They're loud. She would hear everything. You can hear that. And even more specifically, we have a bloody glove outside the front door. The front door was open, as reported by the neighbor, from 8 to 11. Not only would Dylan be able to hear somebody leave the house, but Bethany would be able to hear somebody come in those stairs and go up those stairs and leave coming down those stairs. It's hard for me to believe that somebody didn't come out or come in the front door if it was wide open. What does the neighbor have to lie about? The girls have something to lie about. The neighbor doesn't. And we saw the neighbor walking his dog. So we know that that happened, that's true. I believe the neighbor. I surely don't believe the girls, though. And you could surely hear somebody come up those stairs and go down those stairs. Those stairs are extremely loud. Toothany. Toothany. You guys are so funny. Absolutely. Why didn't Bethany ever call or text her big to see what's going on? I do find it interesting that they didn't, in that moment, they didn't call or text anybody seemingly other than themselves, each other. But I just find it strange. How is it the only two living people only contacted each other to begin with? How did they know that? Like, Bethany called Dylan first. How did she not know that Dylan would have been the first? Dylan could have been the first victim. Her door is the first door that you would get to if you come into the house from the back slider, right? So, excuse me. So, technically, if you think about it, if this was a one-off spree killer that just walks in the back slider and just is killing random people, technically Dylan would have been first. So how does Bethany know to contact Dylan first that she would be alive and nobody else was? I just can't. The actions, I don't have an understanding, because there's not an explanation to them of their actions. Why do they only speak to each other? How do they know? And it tells me because they did know. They didn't know that they were the only ones alive. They did know that nobody else was alive. They did know that they weren't going to be part of this, that they weren't going to be hurt. They did know. They do a lot of things and say a lot of things. A lot of their actions are like, but why would you do that? How would you know that that was going to be the only other person alive? Why did you reach out to that person? Like, why did Dylan reach out to Xana, but she claims to hear Kaylee dancing with Murphy in the living room and run upstairs and then run back down and scream that somebody's here? So what would make you call Xana then? Right? Like, it's just strange. The actions are strange. It doesn't make sense. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here today, except for I want to show you Bronx's buddy of the day. Do, 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 do. We do need their phone's health analytics, and it's been FOIA'd, and it was denied. And I don't understand why we're denied. There's no reason to be denied for all of this stuff. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason we can't have that. Now, when I show you this, you guys are going to think it's fake, but it's not. Dun, 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 dun. This blue fish, these orange fish, and this turtle are all Denise K's fishy aquatic pets. And I thought it was so much fun. I do want pizza. That sounds really good. I think I had cereal last night. Nemo! Dun, 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 dun. Denise emailed me and she said, I didn't know that you would do other animals other than just cats and dogs. And I was like, absolutely. We love all pets. I could not personally have fish because I cannot keep a plant alive. Although I do pride myself on being a good dog mom. Bronx makes noise and he lets me know when he needs something. So I could not have fish, although they're beautiful. This is her fishies and these are real. And this is her turtle named Myrtle. And I think it's so fun to do something other than cats and dogs sometimes because they are our pets too. Our little fishies and turtles. It makes me want to get a turtle. It really does. Oh, I'd love to see a snake. Bronx stepped on a snake today. I live in Illinois, so we don't have poisonous snakes, but we have little gardener snakes. And it was probably 1.5 feet long. And Bronx was like, oh, what did I just touch? Yep, Myrtle the turtle. So cute. Now, I do have to tell you, thank you, Denise, for sending in your babies. We appreciate it. And they're gorgeous. I think this bluefish is just beautiful. Thank you so much. You guys are going to be in love with the fur babies that I show you on Monday. We do have a pretty long list of Bronx's buddies of the day in my email. Just so you guys know, if you've sent it in and I haven't replied, I have seen them. I will reply to it when it's going to be shown. So I do see them all and they're absolutely gorgeous, but you guys are going to love what you see on Monday. It's so precious. Oh, it's so precious. All right, guys, have a great evening. I will see some of you later here in a little bit. If not, I will see you guys on Monday for sure. And do something nice for yourself today. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals. Bye, guys. Oh, I forgot to say thank you to all of our new turtles. Thank you to Bianca for getting new turtles, Leo becoming a new turtle, Four Hens for the donation, Steven for the donation, and of course, Moto coming in with a bang. I appreciate all of you so much. We love you very, very much. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, guys.